Kia ora, New Zealand. Welcome to Sweet Chain Live. My name's Matt Drake. This is episode 196, and I'm joined this evening by my co-host, Morgan Harfell. Good evening, Morgan.
We're back, Matt. We're back, baby. 2025 coming in hot.
We are back.
As every week, I'm going to ask, how are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm very good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
That's happened. So, yeah. It's been. Has it been? Did you have a good Christmas and New Year time?
Yep.
Holiday.
Break. Just trying to work as much as I can. Probably not as much as I would have liked, but just trying to work as much as I can just to save up as much money as I can for my upcoming holiday.
Indeed. Any clues, chat, as to where Morgan's going? You might be able to a quick guess as to where he might be going. In a few weeks. When is it that you're off?
We will be driving to Christchurch. We'll probably be arriving in Christchurch this time next week, and then flying first thing in the morning.
So will you be on the show next week?
Let's pencil in the backup guy, and I'll see where we are. If we're in a spot with bad reception, maybe not, because we're going to drive straight after work.
Indeed. Okay, well, let's see how we get on. But anyway, we've got a whole heap of stuff to get through today. First show back of the year, and yeah. We've got to go. We're going to go through hot scores. We're going to go through our new website, sweetchainlive.com,
yes.
which is great fun. And so we're going to go through all of the features of that and take you through what you can do and what you can expect from it in the future. We're also going to go and be previewing Egg Monster, which is taking place this weekend in Taranaki. It's a pretty competitive event in some of the divisions, and we'll be going through that and also providing our tips and showing you where you can give us your tips as well. We shall also be going through. We got some news, actually, some really important Wellington news that I want to shout out, which is very cool. We're going to play some Disc Duel. We're going to go through some Disc Golf Valley, and also power rankings ahead of the tournament this weekend. So yeah, we'll see how we get on, and we'll get into it. But as we talked about on the last show of last year, I actually managed to do this. So Morgan, hot scores for 2024.
Yes, the entire year, Matt.
So this is the entire year. So, and there are some low numbers coming, or some high numbers that are negative, if you know what I mean. So here we go, Morgan, with the 2024 hot scores from around the country. Take us through the South.
All righty, Matt. We are going to jump straight into the dirty deep South. And as always, Queen's Park. And in 2024, Barry Van Beek takes the keys with a 16 under par. Chingford, Mr. Jack Maffey, Mr. Calvin Cummings, and Mr. Chris McLean all clean up with a -5. Jack Maffey always gets the job done at Brockville, and he did for 2024. He shoots a smoking 9 under par. Queenstown Gardens and the one, the only, the king of the Gardens, Mikey Yu, multi-time defending champ of the Queenstown Classic, 17 under par. He got this done not too long ago, from memory, even just before Christmas, I believe.
Yeah, Jack Matthews actually was on the 30th of December, so he snuck that in. His 9 down at Brockville, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Better late than never, right? Lismore Park, we're going to head up into Wanaka now. Mundo McDisk, and he has the keys at 13 under par. Jelly Park up in Christchurch, and also Warren Park, both held down by Ashton Clark in 2024, and both shooting a scorching 17 under par. 18 under par, though, takes the keys for the whole of Christchurch, really, with Kelly Thompson getting it done at Smallbone Reserve. Queen's Park sees Rayner and Sam Page at a 9 under par. Saxton Field, 13 under par, and the final course of the South Island for 2024, shooting a smoking 15 under par, is Mr. Alex Batten. Well done to all you guys in the South.
Very well
smashing scores, and I'm very excited to hear what's happened up north.
Well, the scores up north have been equally as impressive, although they are you're going to hear one name quite a lot. Here we go. We're going to start in the capital at Berrenport. And Johnny Wake hits a 9 under par in 2024. So well done to Johnny. Over the water at Hikoikoi, Andy Davey hits a perfect round 9 under par in Petone. Up at Harcourt Park is 11 under par by Johnny Wake. So congratulations to him. At Linklater, any guesses, Morgan?
J-Dub.
It's J-Dub again with a 12 under par. Across to Maryland's, it's Brian Rawlins who hits a 7 under par. Around Spa Park Black, Johnny Wake hits 10 under par around Spa Park Black, which is a stupid score, honestly. That's around that course. Henderson, Jackson Sullivan hits 16 under par at Henderson, and Wood Hill, Jacko shares the honours with Kyle Harrop at 10 under, and finally round Rosedale, Nicholas Goldner hits a 12 under par. So well done to everybody up and down the country who picked up a hot score in 2024, including Johnny Wake, who picked up 4, and Jack O'Sullivan, Jack Maffey, Ashton Clark, who all pick up a brace. Now, good evening, chat, I meant to say. Also,
Yes. Happy
Happy New Year to all of the chatters that we have this evening. Hope you all had a lovely Christmas and New Year. We're kind of right back into it now. And yeah, so what are we on? We're on 196,
196, yeah, 4 to go into the 200.
200,
Bang.
outrageous. Well, look, it's great having you with us, chat, and yeah, hopefully we've got some pretty cool stuff to show you upcoming now. Right now, as we talked about prior to the start of the year, and as you might have seen through social media posts or group chats that we kind of snuck it into, we have launched our new website. It's www.sweetchainlive.com. Should be very easy to remember, sweetchainlive.com. And we can bring up the page that you'll see there up on the screen. So this is after you've logged in. You need to log in. This is the screen you'll be greeted with. I just want to kind of take you through it, really. So there's space for news articles. These news articles have got bits and pieces that we'll talk about, and they'll be submitted by everybody, not just me. I wrote this one, but there'll be many contributors, and this one here gives you a bit of a breakdown of all of the.
Are we looking for contributors here, Matt? Anyone from?
Yeah,
chat,
we are.
maybe?
I mean, absolutely. If anybody's got something that they feel that they would want to contribute, even if it's just something one-off, or if you want to become a regular contributor, then absolutely get in touch. And we'd like to hear anything on disc golf. It doesn't have to be about tournaments or about a particular event or tipping or rankings or whatever. It can be on anything to do with disc golf. And so yeah, get in touch if you want to contribute, because I'm sure there's many people out there who'd love to hear personal stories of
100%. I think like the more unique angles we can get, the better, right? I mean, everyone sees the game and the events and the tour and everything from a different set of eyes. And for me anyway, I'd love to see quite a number of unique outlooks.
Absolutely. We're going to jump to power rankings now, which is something which has been long requested from people out there. You'll find the full power rankings updated after each event live on the website. These last power rankings were updated after the Rapper Rumble at the end of December, or midway through December, which was the final PGA sanctioned event of the year last year. And with these power rankings, you can search for people. So if you wanted to search for your favorite player, which Tom's going to do now for us, there he is, ranked 172. I think I can see on my screen there. So well done, Tom. You can expand the number of entries if you want to look at more people on a page at one time, and you can also if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, go through all the different pages of the thing as well, so you can see all the people. Now, if we just pop back up to the top, have a read of the FAQs, because this explains and tries to answer some of the questions that I think are quite the most kind of common questions which crop up, especially the there's the questions around why can't I see me, or why can't I see this person, my mate? And so if Tom opens up the how a ranking's calculated tab, just there, there we go. It explains how this works. Okay, so rankings are broadly done on a dominance factor, or they are done on a dominance factor, and this dominance factor is amended after each event, depending on how you play relative to other people and relative to their dominance values after each event, right? So if you beat a load of people who are got a very high dominance, then your own dominance will grow by quite a bit. If you lose to a bunch of people who have a very high dominance or higher dominance than you, then yours might not even go down by very much at all, right? So it takes into account the strength of the field and the relative strength of you against that field, right? Which means that you can, which means that it doesn't. There is a bit of bias towards more recent events. But I think that's the right thing to do. I think it's right that because this is meant to be a power ranking system, it's not meant to be a show a who's the best disc golfer ever kind of rankings. It's a who's currently kind of on form, so it takes into account that more than other. You need to have played 5 events in the last calendar year prior to the most latest event. So in this case, it would have been 5 events in the 12 months running up to the 2024 15th of December. In order to qualify to appear on the rankings. Now, you'll still have a dominance value, and your dominance value for each event will still affect the overall calculation and other people's dominance calculations at future events, even if you don't appear on the leaderboard. It's just that you're filtered out from the leaderboard if you haven't played 5 or more events. Because really, let me try and say this without falling over myself. Statistical significance. Okay, so it's like if you roll a dice and it came up a 6, and then said, "Oh, my dice always rolls a 6," then that's not entirely true, because it's not statistically significant, right? You've got to roll it a few times before you can get an average out. And if we go to the MPO field, you can see an example of this. If we pop up to the top of the MPO rankings, you'll see that Andy Davey was a new entry. And the reason for that is that prior to playing Rapper Rumble, he'd only played 4 events in the 12 months prior to the previous update. So when he played his 5th event, he came in, his old dominance value, his dominance value was kind of bubbling away still, but it required, I mean, he did beat Johnny Wake in that tournament, right? So where he's landed is probably still pretty accurate. But he only appears in the leaderboard now because he's played 5 events. Okay. Another big thing that's a part of this site. So actually, about power rankings, go in, have a look. If you see anyone in there that you know, then great. Pat them on the back if you see a little flame next to their name. After they've just played an event, Ben Morrison climbing 29 spaces up to 30th, for example.
Do you have the ice symbol for the people that have really dropped off?
I haven't. I'll tell you a story on this. Whilst this was in development, the high drop numbers also accidentally had a flame next to them, which caused a certain degree of joy from some people who are helping me test.
Anyway, I just want to jump in and shout out all those guys. And I'm not going to name them all; they all know who they are. But there's you've got a group chat, and I'm part of it. But I don't really have too much to say in that chat, because these guys that have been helping you out are just getting so in depth on every single detail, and they've really helped dial this back to where it is now.
I couldn't do it without them, really. Yeah. I've had so much help from producer Tom's been a huge help. And then there's about 5 or 6 other guys in a group chat who, if you know who you are, and they've been a huge help in helping out with the UI, helping out with the, what it looks like, the user interface, or what it looks like, and also some of the functionality, what should happen when this is clicked, and how should this appear when this happens, all that kind of stuff. And it's been a huge help in kind of getting this off the ground. So
good job, lads.
Not absolutely not least with regards to tipping, which is kind of, I guess, one of my favorite parts of the site here. So this is interesting, right? What this has, what we have here is the ability for you to tip or bet with your Sweet Chain coins. And you see Tom's got 783, and I'll run through exactly how you gain coins in a minute. He can tip those coins on whoever he wants. So if he selects the event and drops down, you can see the odds of each player here. And he's got, he can, so if he wants to place a bet, you just put a bet in, Tom. You don't have to click the submit button if you don't want to. But if Tom decided that Johnny Wake was going to win Egg Monster and he wanted to bet 50, then he could submit that and he would potentially be taking home. So that would be a nice juicy return for Tom there.
Oh, he's taken it. He's taken it.
He has. He's taken it. Oh, so we shall see. Best of luck, Tom. And so that's available for every division. So if we scroll through all of the divisions there for Egg Monster for this tournament, you got all of the divisions covered all the way down to you got MP40, MA1, MA40. MA50 all the way down, and you can place your bets on whatever division you want for anybody to win. Of course, when you get a bit further down towards MA2 and MA3, this is where the house can really lose big, right? Because it's it's so hard to pick the winner of an MA3 or MA2. I mean, it's hard enough in MPO with an event like Egg Monster, which has a lot of unknowns. When I say unknowns, I mean a lot of unknown players from outside of New Zealand. Then it can make it very, very tricky. Typically, the analytics team will get the result of the MPO division. They'll correctly predict about 8 players in the top 10 on a fairly regular basis. So if you ask them to predict the top 10, they'll get 8 of the top 10.
And then you can go over to community bets and see what everyone's tips are, correct?
Yeah. So if you want to, that's right. So if you go to community bets now, at the moment, this is sorted by. So the highest value bet is at the top. So you can see Louis Hickson's bet on himself. Get on, Louis.
Yes,
to
Louis.
bet here at Egg Monster at odds of 12.3, which seem quite long odds. We shall see.
Do you think that adds extra pressure on the player, on yourself?
Well, I don't know.
Gambling on yourself?
Do you think a few people have? You can see Isaac has done the same. He's bet on himself, but he's playing an MPO, right? And he's at odds of 200 to 1. He's the outsider in MPO.
Yeah.
And if he wins, he just wins the whole season, right?
Isaac's not even playing to win Egg Monster. He's just playing to win the tips. He's like, I need 1 million chips.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. It's interesting. When we so you can this is sorted currently by highest value bets, but I will sort it. I will put an option to sort it by most recent ones as well. You can comment and you can leave emoji responses to the various bets there if you feel someone's trodden on a banana skin or they've cashed in. Then feel free to throw them the appropriate emoji. You can see your pending bets. This is the ones that Tom's gone for. So he's bet against himself quite a bit because he's picked lots of winners. At the moment, you can only pick winners. Okay. Now, this is only going to be the case for this week. From next week, when we come to Topol, you'll be able to place bets on placing. So if someone's going to finish in the top 3, okay, which might open up the possibility of, taking a little bit more of a gamble, perhaps, because it might be that you actually fancy somebody to sneak into the top 3, but maybe hitting the hitting the top would be tough. Then you can see the my settled bets. There shouldn't be anything in here, but there will be after Egg Monster. And then if we go to the leaderboard, you'll see. The leaderboard is currently sorted by total balance, and the total balance here is all of your money that you've currently got staked, that you've committed to, which is the money you've made in bets, plus your current balance, your unused balance that's sitting in your bank. And you'll be able to see here that you start off with 1,000 coins. When you first log into the system, first log in, you'll get 1,000 coins. And at the beginning of every season, you'll get 1,000 coins. And there's various ways that you can earn more coins. As you can see, some of the players have been doing this. The main way that you earn more coins is winning bets, right? So if you place a successful bet on a winner and it comes back, then that'll get added to your balance and you can use it on the next one. In addition to that, at the beginning of every month, so for each season, each season of tipping lasts 3 months. So the first season will end at the end of March. And so we'll crown a season champion at the end of March. So our season 1 champion will be crowned at the end of March, and we'll make sure we do something special for them. And then a new season will start at the beginning of April.
Will you have an cumulative all-year winner as well?
Yes, we will have a cumulative lifetime leaderboard, right? That will show over all time who's the best. But for each season, you'll get 1,000 at the start of the season, and then you'll get 500 on the first of each month, the 2 months that aren't the first one, right? So you'll get 1,000, and then you'll get a 500 on the 1st of February, and everybody gets that, even the people at the top, people at the bottom. And then you get 500 on the 1st of March, okay? Then you can spend them however you like. And now that's irrespective of how many events there are. So if there was only one event in March, you'd still get that 500 bonus, and you could splurge it all on that one event if you wanted, or you could decide to hoard it, up to you, depending on what you needed to do.
I have an idea, and I'm going to run this by you live on stream because I don't know if you've talked about it in the chat.
Okay, all right, go on.
So chat, as you know, we have a Patreon site for people that can.
I know where you're going.
Add a little bit of money to the kitty to help the show grow and do things like this website. Matt, Patreon subscribers get a bonus amount of change.
Well, I haven't. At the moment they don't, but maybe in the future they will.
Yeah, chat. I'm doing this for you, chat. I'm throwing this on Matt right on live on the show. He did not know that was coming.
He didn't.
Neither did I, to be fair.
But the other way that you can earn coins, other than winning bets and your monthly kind of stipend, if you like, is you get a daily login bonus. So every day that you log into the website, and this resets at 6 p.m. every day. Every day you log into the website, you'll get a small loot box that you can collect via your profile. So if you go to your profile up in the top corner and then click rewards, there's a loot box. And you can see here that you can claim, and Tom's going to claim it now. Tom's claimed 12 coins for his balance, and his balance will update if he clicks the OK button. And so now he's claimed that, and he gets this every day. Every day you get a small loot box with a number of coins in every day that you log in. And then you may have also seen there, you get a 5-day streak bonus. So if you log in for 5 days in a row, you'll also get a slightly larger loot box, okay? And then that one will give you a few more coins. And the average amount of coins that you'll get if you log in every day is about equal to, you can basically double your money by logging in every day, right? So it's a not insignificant amount of the amount. It's a not an insignificant amount of money that you can, or coins, I should say, that you can get from this. All right. Now, so at the end of the season, the person who's got the highest balance will be declared the winner, providing they've placed a minimum number of bets. There will be a minimum number of bets that you have to have placed. I think it's going to be about 10, but I need to confirm that. I'll put it into the FAQs when it's confirmed. And we'll sort out a prize for that person, and you'll also, fanfare, ticker tape parade, all the rest of it. Yeah. So,
just looking quickly over into the chat there, Robbie Gill, you said options to sort by the most recent and also highest potential payout would be interesting. Before the show, Matt and Tom were just talking about that, weren't you, Matt?
Yeah, we can add that in. So that's tipping. Get involved. Egg Monster tipping is open until 9 a.m. tomorrow. Actually, let me just check that that's the right time to set that off, because when's the first card goes at 9 o'clock, right? The FPO card FPO lead card goes off at 9 o'clock. So tipping tomorrow will close at 9 a.m.
FPO leading them off.
Tomorrow. So that's pretty common. That's what happened last year as well.
Yeah.
So 9 a.m. tomorrow is what you've got until you get your bets in. Now, there have been a question on how often is this, as events go on, especially as you come up to the start of the event, several people change divisions. Several people kind of drop out and maybe don't play. Some people might be last minute entries. Well, the site adjusts for that, and so it basically updates about every hour. So every hour it will update the odds and the lineups for you. So you'll be able to see here that things like Patrick Brown moving to MP40, which was an adjustment that happened today, and also Matt Broughton moving to MA40, which was also an adjustment that happened today. Those have happened, and they've changed the odds. Right, so just be careful of this. If someone's odds change, now I put some money on, I put some coins on Richard McDonald to win when Matt Broughton wasn't in the MA40 division, and then when Matt Broughton joined the MA40 division, it pushed Richard McDonald's odds up higher. So I would have got a better return if I just waited until this afternoon to put that tip on rather than being hasty about it earlier on in the week. So just be aware of that. I mean, odds can go both ways, right? So yeah, just be aware of that. The tipping for Topor Classic will open on Monday. Be on the lookout for that as well, and we'll give a bit of a breakdown of where we think the sensible money is for Topor. Right, let's go across to the events tab if we can, Tom. This bit of the site, it's currently kind of being developed and working. We're working on it all the time. But if we click into Egg Monster, so it looks a little bit empty now, and it deliberately is empty. At the end of Egg Monster, the reviews section here will open, and you'll be able to leave a review on the website of the event, Egg Monster. Right now, when it comes to leaving a review, the type of review questions you get will depend on whether you played the event or not, and what division you played in,
right.
Pro or Am. Right. So this is linked by your PDGA number. So Tom, if you bring up your profile, if you go to your profile in the top right and you edit your profile to put your PDGA number in, then when you leave a review, it will link to whether you played in the event or not, and then it will say reviewed by, and you can choose to be completely anonymous. You can choose to put the division you played in. You can choose to put the class that you played in, either Pro or Am, or you can choose to put your name in if you want. Okay, it's up to the person leaving the review who wants to do that. But if you don't do any of those, then you will and you leave your PDGA number blank, you will be reviewing as a spectator. Okay, and so anyone can review as a spectator. Right. So Morgan, for Egg Monster, I know you're not in Taranaki, but in theory, you'd be able to leave a review as a spectator on Egg Monster with whatever comments you wanted to leave. Right. And as we go forward, I will make it so that you can filter the spectators out and just look at people who played in the tournament, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right. So yeah, the AMs have got questions on things like, what was the players pack like? Did you get what were the prizes like? That kind of thing. Whereas pros is more towards what were the pro purse like, etc. And then there's questions on things like OB lines and T-pads and baskets and overall ratings and value for money and all that kind of stuff, right? So that's that. I encourage you to leave a review on Egg Monster. This when you get it, and it's not just Egg Monster; it's after every event. Right, so this is available if you click the events tab there, Tom. This will be for every event that comes up. So next week when Disc Daddies is on, as well as the Topor Classic, the reviews will open for that, as they will for every other event that gets running. So you'll be able to go in and see as we go. This is a bit of the site that needs probably the most development. So that will be coming. But yeah, that's what we've been working on. Hope you enjoy it. as is for now. Get in there, give us your tips, let us know who you think is gonna win in Taranaki this weekend. The tournament starts tomorrow. Morgan, shall we get on and have a look at the
tournament
and see if what we think? Let's first up have a look at the PDGA site here. Now, so first sanctioned event of the year, MPO. There's quite
some big names.
There's some big names. There's some big names in here, right? So the most notable, Ezra Robinson and Aaron Gossage. Robert Burridge, returning Luke Humphries coming back to New Zealand from last year, and Braden Sides. Levi Stout is the highest rated Kiwi in the field, with Francis Orange being the second highest rated, but 11th highest rated overall. So it's going to be pretty tough for the New Zealanders.
Let's just quickly shout that out, though. Levi Stout at 10-17 rated right now to start 2025 as fire. Absolute fire. Ezra Robinson, obviously probably most people's pick of the litter there. 1046 rated. We've seen what he did last year. He won, I think, the exact same amount of events in 2024 as his brother Isaac, who's the two-time defending world champ, who's just off here on the side of the PDGA website. My pick of the lot there, or at least as far as tipping goes, I went all the way down to Chandler Fry, who is just sitting one point right behind Levi Stout in the ratings, 10-16. He's done some pretty amazing things over the years, and I just want to call him for a wee bit of an outsider, being one of these guys coming from the States.
Do you know what? If place tipping was available this week, then I would say that would be a good shout, honestly. I know that Chandler, Braden, and Ezra all arrived in New Zealand yesterday. So they arrived into Auckland yesterday, would have travelled to Taranaki, which is 5 hours or whatever, and then maybe a bit more. And then obviously played practice rounds today, as well as the skins match that a number of them were involved in as well.
And
so it would have been a
champs versus chumps too. Was that today?
I think that was today. So there was there was lots on the go. It was a hot, windy day today. Going as the reports from one of the old farts who's up there. It was a hot, windy day, which is exhausting, as you know, in especially in New Zealand. Hot and windy is often quite exhausting at the end of the day, let alone playing however many rounds of disc golf that you're playing, right? So it's going to be real interesting. I don't know what the wind's going to do for the rest of the weekend. I suspect it's going to stay up, but we'll see. We'll see. So there we are. So Ezra Robinson, the favourite going into the MPO field. Aaron Gossage, his nearest or closest rival.
I said it to you. Sorry, I'm just going to jump right back into that top spot one more time here. I mentioned it to you guys in the green room before the show. My only reason for not picking Ezra, because Ezra is freaking unbelievable, is because he's changed from Prodigy to Discraft.
That's right.
That's my only reasoning too. You know, it's he'll be laser with everything he touches. He'll be on form. But that minuscule amount of difference in trying to get used to a completely new bag might be all that Chandler Fry needs.
Okay, but I'm going to challenge you on this. I'm going to challenge you on this because I suspect that he's known about this deal for a number of months, right? Yep. It would have been something that was negotiated towards the end of last season. And so as soon as the season ends, he can basically ditch his Prodigy bag and go. Give me some Discraft discs.
Depends when the contract finished, though, right?
Yeah, no, but it doesn't stop. Irrelevant of the contract, that doesn't stop Discraft from going. Well, we know we're going to sign you. Here's a box of discs. Go to your local park and throw them in the field, right? And that's so he's getting to know his bag, and I suspect that's actually what's happened. He's getting to know his bag, but it's not like. I mean, he's not going to he probably doesn't tell anyone. Probably doesn't.
Yeah, he's a man of integrity that's under contract. He would definitely never do that.
So
we don't know what everyone does in their private time, Matt.
But I suspect that that's probably how it went.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be a case of going, I found out the week before Christmas, and now I've only got 2 weeks to learn how to throw a zone and a nuke. It's not what's going to happen, right? Yeah, exactly. Brett Carlo in the chat. Here's a box of blanks, and that will be what he does, right? So yeah. So I don't know. I think he'll be more acquainted with his bag than perhaps you might have been alluding to there. But we'll see. Robert Burridge is unattached, and Aaron Gossage is with Discraft as well. So
what's your thoughts on? And I like the way you put that, unattached, open bag.
Open bag. Yes.
Do you think that provides benefit to a player, especially at that caliber?
To have an open bag.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you discount any kind of advantages you might get outside of simply the plastic that you're throwing, right?
Yes.
Then I don't think it makes a huge difference, honestly. Mm-hmm. Because I think when you get to the very top end of this sport, it is in so much the archer, not the arrow, right? And you could give Ezra Robinson. He could pick 10 discs at random from my box of discs that are secondhand ones that have been handed to me that people have lost, and I've tried to get in contact with people, but they haven't collected them, or didn't answer their phone or whatever, and he could throw that and clean up most of New Zealand with it, right? So I suspect that it's very much the archer, not the arrow, and so I don't think having a mixed bag over a manufacturer's bag makes a difference. Now, saying that, that's at the top end. Further down, and the reason why I throw purely latitude discs and not other brands of plastic, right? It's because when it comes to choosing, and I'm not sponsored by Latitude, unfortunately, but when it comes to choosing a disc for a particular job, right, and getting a it might be an overstable approach disc, for example, then having one or two to go to makes it a lot easier to pick one, and makes the decision-making process around what I should use a whole lot easier. You might say, well, yeah, but you might be missing out on stuff. Yeah, I know I might be missing out on stuff, but I'm offsetting that against the additional cognitive load I don't suffer from going, oh yeah, but I could have tried a zone, or I could have tried whatever. I could have tried all these different types of approach discs, but because the savior is just in that spot, that's what I'm going to throw. Yeah. I'm going to learn how to throw it, and bang, I'm done. Right? I'm not sat there going, oh shit, I've got a choice about 4 or 5 here. Which one do I go with? It's like I know which one I'm going to go with.
Yeah,
right?
You use a lot more strategy in building your bag. Like I look in my bag, there's probably 3 13 speed discs that almost do the same thing from all different manufacturers, and I love that. Just going, you know what, this one's not for me today. I'm going to throw this one.
Yeah,
and that's me, baby. 921 rated and living it up.
That's bro. You've got 40 points on me, so I'm obviously doing something wrong. But we'll see. Anyway, let's get back to Egg Monster and have a look at the FPO field.
Yeah,
which is another stacked field.
Yes.
Now, this was an interesting one because a lot of the money is on Emily Weatherman. She's where people have been tipping to. She's the highest rated player in the field, but not by much. You would argue that Juliana Korver at 1 point behind and Sophia Doneke at 2 points behind are so close. That,
help me out here, Matt. Emily Weatherman, was she the FA1 national champion?
No, she was the FPO.
1 year ago.
No, she was the FPO Rookie of the Year 2 years ago.
Rookie of the Year. That's what it was.
Okay,
Thank you.
so not last year that just gone, but the year before,
Mhm.
right? And she's got a new bag as well. I think is she with Innova? Did she go to Innova? Did I read that? Chat will confirm, but I think she went to Innova. So Juliana Core was obviously with Innova. And then Sophia Donake, she's been active on her socials last couple of days. Taylor Choshek, I think I pronounced that correct, is the women's distance champion,
Yes,
right?
she
So
is.
she, at a course like Egg Monster, which is huge, nearly 3,000 meters, right? Maybe not the blue tees aren't 3,000 meters, but the red tees are. This will favour her, I suspect.
Maybe, because you got to remember though, and I read this somewhere just before we came online. They've added a lot of OB and hazard this year, like a lot more than they've previously had. So I mean, if that breezes up, even if you can crush, you still need to be down the middle, and that might be where someone like the likes of Juliana Korver really attacks and just keeps it up the middle all day long.
Could be. Michaela Kerr is the highest rated Kiwi, and she's also the #1 ranked player in New Zealand currently. So she'll be challenging. Her rating is some way off the traveling ladies, so it'll be interesting to see how close she can get to them. And Jenny Umstead is a RPM sponsored US player, I believe. I don't know too much about it other than that. I think that's right. So again, in terms of tipping, Emily Weatherman has had nearly all the tips here, right? So she's dominated the tipping market, and she, despite being the favourite, if you did want to tip on Emily, she's available at 3.7, which some might seem as a bargain. At least some people have. Down to MP40. Patrick Brown has moved into this division after previously being in MPO to join Jim Oates and Auckland's Anthony Rogers. Brian Levine, who's local to New Plymouth, and I played with him at Rapper Rumble, actually. Very competent player and played incredibly well on the rounds he didn't play with me, which isn't linked, I'm sure. We'll be doing battle in MP40. Patrick Brown and Jim Oates are expected to dominate this division, but we've seen before. We'll have to see what can happen.
I think the name Patrick Brown. I think I even may have played a card with him at Chavez Ridge back in like 2015,
around for
16.
some time,
yeah, he has. Yeah, I think he was. I'm even sure that he might have come for lunch. When I went out with some of the guys from the club there, that name, as soon as it came up, I was like, I know this guy. From what I remember, he's a beast. So, yeah, let's see what happens.
Tight little division in MA1. Josh Pratt and Joel Way are the favourites here. And Josh Pratt, I think he's ranked. Josh Pratt is currently ranked 22nd in the country. Ben Morrison is ranked 30th and is the second favourite going into this. However, Finn Rumours is a local to Inglewood, so obviously is very experienced on this course, will know the lines, will know the weather, etc. Perhaps better than some of the other guys. Junior, so good to see him going up against.
I don't remember what the prevailing wind is there, but they definitely get it on 3 or 4, maybe even 5 of the holes. Where no matter which way the wind's coming, it is just ripping headwind almost every single time.
Yeah, so I think the prevailer is a nor'wester.
Yeah, that actually makes sense.
And so but the course itself, because you've got that big old mountain there, I'm sure that has and I'm not a weatherman, as you can tell, and there'll be people out there going, this guy's talking rubbish. I'm sure that mountain plays a part in directing some of the wind. And I can remember on the days when I played Inglewood, it was incredibly calm. It did rain, but it was calm. But one day it was particularly windy, and the regular hole number 1, I'm not sure what hole it is on this layout, but regular hole number 1, which plays away from the clubhouse and is a par 5,
300
the road on
meters.
the left-hand side. That's it, 300 plus, slight kind of bend to the right.
Right. Yep.
And then you've got a golf green at the end and a little group of trees. I think that is still a hole, but the pin position might have moved to make it slightly harder. Often you can find that that's directly into a headwind, which is great if you've got good roller game. But if you don't, then it can be harder. So yeah, I think the wind will play a factor this weekend, and it'll be interesting to see when we see some of the coverage from the skins match, and also any of the other coverage that people are sharing on socials, etc. over the weekend. You better see what the wind is doing. I suspect it will play a part and will be part of several comments on the way in which people have played this weekend. Down to MA40. So here, Richard McDonald was the favourite in this round, fresh off his victory at Faultline Fury in November. Matt Broughton is currently the favourite. However, I understand he might be carrying an injury, so he might not be at full fitness. So
giving out tipping
FYI.
information now, Matt. Giving out tipping
information.
Well,
I know, and I heard that from a source. So I actually think that someone put it in the chat earlier on as well. So I don't feel too bad about. Okay, so yeah. So we'll see how he gets on. Ephraim Russell, very useful player from Manawatu 2 as well. So yeah, look out for that one. Amy Whitmore competing on her own in FA40, but we'll have half an eye on what the ladies in FPO are doing as they're playing off the same tees, and so she'll be looking at those cards, going, you know, where would I be, and where would I compete against those guys? I'm sure that's in the back of her mind. MA50. Quite a tight little division here. It's David Collins is actually the favourite to win this one at odds of 3.2 out of Nelson. Into MA2, and it's Cannon Larson who is the favourite to win over Quinn Cheeseman, 3.7. And so we'll see how he can get on. And you might have seen Louis Hickson had a round with the with Ezra and Braden earlier on, and so I'm sure he picked up some tips from those guys. Louis is another junior from New Plymouth, so again we'll know the course well. FA2, pretty tight division here. Katie Hoffman is the favourite. But only narrowly, and really, there's not much to pick between the three of them.
And so she's the only one she's the only one that's not a local there too.
Indeed. But she does spend some time in New Plymouth, and I suspect knows that course perhaps better than just a random course.
Yeah.
So
if you're going to read into anything though, that might be an angle to take.
Well, indeed.
In your tipping.
She's, in tipping. In MA3. Blake Gibson is the favourite here, but honestly, it's a pretty flat line between about 5 or 6 players. It's incredibly difficult in MA3 to pick a winner here, because the variability of a person to have a particularly good day, or even just only one bad day, right, can mean that they can win the tournament, whereas otherwise it's very, very hard to predict.
We need to have a Sweet Chain Outsiders tip that we do each week that we have to put into our tipping category. Just a 50 or 100 on I don't know, John Gibbs, 812 rated.
John Gibbs. I know John. I know John. He's a really nice guy, and I wish him well for this weekend. It's going to be incredibly. It's a tough old course in MA3 for any MA3s to play, and I've got my fingers crossed for John this weekend.
Can I ask you, Matt?
Of course.
Can I ask you tip of the week? So something we haven't discussed until right now. If you were to go through that whole field, hey, look, you know how I fly around here, right? You know how I fly.
Yeah.
But tip of the week. This is in your neck of the woods. The North Island, we'll say, is your neck of the woods. What's your tip of the week? Or the Sweet Chain?
Do you mean value?
If you could pick some, value bet tip of the week. Brought to you by Matt Drake at Sweet Chain Live.
So my value bet, I think, is Aaron Gossage at 8.3.
The Goose at 8.3.
Yeah.
All right. You heard it here first, people.
Yeah. And if you want a second bet, Richard McDonald at 4.7.
Okay.
Yeah. So there
I
you
like
go.
that.
Aaron Gossage,
Thank you very much.
8.3. Richard McDonald 4.7. So we'll have more of those next week. So that's this weekend, Morgan. The tournament kicks off tomorrow for realsies. At 9 a.m. is when the ladies tee off, and so we'll be that's when the tipping closes. So make sure you get your tips in ready for that. Now, let's move on to some other news. Morgan, did you have something was going on down in Queenstown this last weekend?
I unfortunately didn't really get a chance to play this, but they had the Queenstown Disc Golf Club Champs. So I just wanted to really quickly throw that out to the people and just run through the leaderboard and say congrats to the team who put it together. It's the first time this has been done. The guys played across like 5 courses across the whole weekend, 5 or 6 courses and the whole weekend, and might just quickly run through some results there. So an MPO coming in first place, Ben Wheellake, Kyle in second, Adam in third. Shout out to those guys. MA1. Oh, this is only round 1. Have you got the totals there?
Get to the totals.
Go round 5 if you go to round 5. Sorry. Thank you very much. That's it there, yeah. So still Ben, Kyle, Adam, perfect. So Ben started off the weekend, even though you've gone off round 1, he started off with an eagle on probably almost the hardest hole to eagle on the whole weekend, which is a pretty nice way to start. He started out about 7 shots ahead of everyone else going into round 2. MA1, Dave Huang, the Stiffmeister, and Adam Swan.
Is that an ace?
Was there an ace? What hole?
Jack Halliday, hole
1,
6.
2, 3, 4, 5. Hole 7, 46. I think that was it. Oh, that's at the Queenstown Gardens. That's a great hole. It's a great, nice short hole to ace. Well done. Didn't even hear about that one. Then MA2, Matty Allsop, Alan Megatron, and Benedict Leica. So just wanted to quickly run through that and shout that out because I thought that was cool. When something like that comes together and happens for the first time, it's really good for the club. Our club, through the league, the PDJ League we did this year, through something like this and a couple other small things that be going on. And I don't know the exact number, but we easily have picked up 15 players to the club just in the last couple of months. So
excellent.
If you guys want to grow your club, especially in communities that might be a little bit smaller, or you're struggling to get players in, bring in a PDJ league and other UDIS leagues like this. It just brings everyone together, and it's just such a good time. We want to grow our clubs and grow our sport. So absolutely, it's a cool way to do it. Thanks for bringing that up, Tom.
I've got some news from Wellington.
Yes.
Which this was announced late last year. It was definitely before Christmas. So tip of the cap to Greater Wellington Disc Golf Club. The board, Kath Headley, Sean Lincoln, Phil McLeod, Josh Groot, Brady Cush. There's a whole bunch of them. And what they've been doing recently is, and Sean Lincoln as well, actually, I should mention. What they've been doing recently is they've been working incredibly hard on two different projects. Primarily, or at least the 2 that I'm going to pick out. There's other things as well, but the 2 I'm going to pick out. One is getting the second, or rather the other 8 baskets to Berrenport. So if you've played the Berrenport full 18, then you'll know that there's not just the 10 on the western side, but there's the 8 baskets, or rather, there's another basket on the western side, and then 7 baskets on the eastern side of Adelaide Road that runs from the city centre through to Island Bay. And if you what they've done is they've secured permission and funding to get those 8 baskets in the ground. So Berrenport will soon be an 18-hole course, not just a 10-hole course, which is fantastic. The other thing that they've been doing is they have got funding and permission for Moonshine Park to go into the ground, right? This is a park along the side of the Hutt River in Trentham, which has played host to a couple of events, a couple of pop-up events, by way of fundraisers, flex starts, that kind of thing. And they're in a position now where they can actually put it into the ground. So I believe it's going to be 18 baskets going into the ground at Trentham.
It's a pretty cool location, eh?
It's nice. It's a nice location. Yeah. It's about halfway between Lower Hutt and Upper Hutt. So, you can call in there on your way to Harcourt Park. And what it does, Morgan, is those two courses, it effectively doubles the number of baskets in the ground in Wellington.
Fantastic. Right? That's what we like to hear.
So Wellington will go from having 28 baskets in the ground, which it currently has, and it will add another 18 plus 8, another 26, right? So we'll go from 28 baskets to 54 baskets in the ground, which is just incredible. So well done, tip of the cap, and a round of applause to the Great Wellington Disc Golf Club for getting that one off the ground. And it also means that the
sorry about that.
Also opens up the possibility of, I don't know, perhaps one day maybe the Sweet Chain Open being a thing. You just
dropping that in there?
I might have said too much. Sorry, I ignore I said that. Anyway, but so yeah, tip the cap to everybody in Greater Wellington who Disc Golf Club who put that together and did that. That's awesome, and I can't wait to play Trentham and also the alternative, or not the alternative 8, I should say, the second 8, if you like, the back 8 at Berrenport. Played it a couple of times at tournaments, but having it in the ground and being able to play casually with my family will be a great joy. So thank you so much for those guys for doing all of those ones. Right. Should we play some Distal?
Yes, we should.
Morgan?
Yes, we should
play some Distal.
100%.
Let's bring some Distal up. So we need some help, chat, as ever. We need your help on this because neither myself nor Morgan are particularly good at this. But Morgan, it's the new year. Kick us off.
Let's just go somewhere way out the left field. Start typing in RAX, please. I think it's RAX or RA. Go back a letter. Or
what are you looking for?
One of those Rask. That's it. Sorry, Rask.
Rask. Okay,
that's the one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Casterplast overstable with a funny little kind of grippy thing underneath. Right. Well, you got the fade right and the glide is right. So overstable, but we're looking at a -1, -2, 4,
-1, -2 in that realm. Yes,
but slower. You don't find many. I want to say, and it's not Casterplast. Let's go. I think Pioneer is a -1, 4. It's slower. Oh, it's 0.4, but the glide's right. So it's less than 14. Is it 3 more that gets you the yellow?
Yes, it's 3. Yeah. So what are we looking at? We're looking at like a 10, 11,
13, 12, or 11. So it's 10 or it's not 13, 12, or 11. So it's 9 or 10. It's a dynamic discs. Is Westside in here?
Yes, Westside's in here.
So it's a Westside or.
And you just did Pioneer.
And it's a speed 10 or 11, and it's a 10 or 11 free, something like an RT. Is that a thing? Is that
isn't an RT? Isn't an RT quite fast though?
My AH. It's AH, I think.
AHTI. Yeah.
It's not there, so I don't think Westside might be included.
Oh, just type. Don't put it in, but just type sword. Nope. No, okay, so no Westside. All right, well, yeah, there we go.
So it's a dynamic discs.
Dynamic, this is more in your ballpark, if we're honest here.
It is, but not really.
What about what? So, what's the turn -1? Or
is it a -1? I think that does mean it's
or -2 or -3, right? What about like a hatchet?
Hatchet's so 2 understable.
2 understable?
Yeah, it's like -2, something like that.
Oh, Roger.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Westside as well. Bang. Silly boy. I've just jumped into my Disc Golf Valley to see what discs I've got in here. Oh, what about Felon? No, Felon's too stable, right?
No, Felon might be all right.
All right, run the Felon.
Run the Felon. I might be able to help us out. Oh no, it's in the front. I've got a keystone that's stamped with a Felon. It's got a Felon stamp on it. Oh, it's a +1 turn. Oh, it's one of those funny ones that's like.
So what's that, like triple X?
Stiletto. That's a stiletto's a latitude. Triple X, I don't think it will be a triple X.
Triple X is +1.
Oh, is it?
I think so, yeah.
But is triple X is latitude though, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's not latitude.
Not latitude. It's dynamic disc.
Is the Felon a dynamic discs? Is it?
Felon is yes. Yeah.
Oh, Rogie. Chat. Where's chat? Chat. Stiletto, tilt-ish, criminal. Ooh, that's beefy from Brett Carlisle. That's my favorite comment of the day. Do we need a hint, or is that even going to help?
I don't know if the hint will help. The hint might be the speed, but I'm not sure that'll help us, honestly. Because I think we know it's a speed 10, isn't it?
Is it? Oh, okay. What's a criminal then? We've got criminal from Robbie Gill in the chat.
Hey, well done.
Shot, Robbie Gill.
I didn't think there was any +1 turn discs for dynamic discs, but there you go. You learn something new every day. So yeah, well done to Robbie for that one. That's very good. That's very good. Right, Disc Golf Valley, I believe, has been being played today. I unfortunately wasn't able to get my round in, but let's have a look at how people have got on today. We put the code above us. There's Tom just claiming his coins. What have we got? Arne and Morgan on 9 down, Kelvin on 8.
Ooh, Paul. Double eagle and finished with a bogey. Oh, I have no idea. But finishing with the bogey.
Heartbreak.
Yes.
Heartbreak.
We all did it a different way.
Indeed. Well done to Paul, Morgan, and Arne for all hitting perfect rounds. Sort of perfect rounds there. Right. Let's have a look at let's just quickly go back to the tipping if we can. And I'll run through some of the stats for this weekend. So far, over 9,000 coins have been tipped on for this weekend at Egg Monster. Ezra Robinson is the most tipped in the MPO field. Emily Weatherman in the FPO field. So head over to sweetchainlive.com and put your tips in for this weekend. Tipping closes at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Let's just have a quick look at the power rankings and the players involved this weekend. So in FPO, Michelle Simpson is not playing this weekend, but Michaela Kerr is, as is Amy Whitmore and Nicholas Stout and Hannah Edmonds out of the top 11 there. So good, very best of luck to all of those players playing this weekend. Do you think that the New Zealand players are kind of looking at this as a battle amongst themselves?
No.
You think people will be like, right, I've got an opportunity, I'm going to take them on. I know Michaela won't be thinking that way, but like,
I know Levi is 100%. You know, I think not just Levi. There's a few of these guys, and I think it also actually extends right down to the lowest players in the MPO division that are really going to want to challenge themselves. Some maybe not for the dub, but really trying to see and get an idea of where they match up skill for skill. As opposed to what you're saying, battling it out amongst each other for second, third, fourth, fifth place, whatever. I don't think that's the outlook for the weekend. But Levi Stout especially and Francis definitely going to be looking to hit that top spot.
Okay, absolutely. something I was commenting about in the green room, and we might just quickly go back to the PDGA page if we can. And that's to say that with a lot of high-rated players in the tournament, as we know, ratings is a zero-sum game. So the opportunity, all of those rating points are kind of going to get put into a pot and then reshared out amongst everybody at the end of the tournament, which I think is a great thing for New Zealand disc golfers, especially as the conditions this weekend could really lead to some high-rated rounds. And the reason I say this is because there's when you play in trying conditions, windy especially, the opportunity for score separation is greater. And when you have a long course with high levels of score separation, that's when you get high ratings.
Yep.
And the good thing about it is if a few of the New Zealand players can get some of these high ratings, they will then propagate those high ratings to everybody that they play with later on this year, locally, which will help everybody's game. If if you're into your ratings and you want to you want to do things to improve them, then that's one way that's going to happen. I've heard a few people talk about Levi's form that he's taking into this. Remember, in 2024, he only lost to one Kiwi in any event, and that was only once. And so it'll be interesting to see what challenge he can make on Braden, Luke, Robert, Aaron, and Ezra above them in the ratings there. Morgan, anything to finish us off with?
I guess I just want to shout out everyone that signed up and sold out Queenstown Classic in basically a day. We obviously had not obviously, but we had the members pre-registration for a couple of days ahead where we got 30 odd people, and then when we opened, we'd sold out by the evening. So that was kind of nice. So congrats to the 100 people that are coming down to the 30th annual Queenstown Classic. I'm very much looking forward to having you all down. So outside of that, though, Matt, no, I'm very, very much looking forward to going on holiday next week. Only just started getting maybe just a tad nervous about it, taking 15 people with me, but
you'll have a great time.
We'll definitely have a great time. We'll definitely have a great time. It's there's been a lot of work in the background put in to make this one happen, especially. Definitely. So very, very excited, very excited. I hope we can actually maybe call in and jump on live with you while we're out there, maybe.
It would be great. It would be great if you're available. We'll be chatting whilst you're away, and so we'll just have to hook something up. I'm sure we can make something work.
Yeah.
Also, a quick shout out to quite a few players. I don't know how many. I think there might be close to 80 people playing at the west side of Woodville this weekend as well.
Yes, let's go
at Woodville in Palmerston North on Ryan Kitto's property. And so shout out to all of those players and to Ryan for putting on an absolute crackerjack of a tournament. I got an invite and couldn't make it. I was so frustrated. I know.
It's a lifetime invite, right? It's like, well, it is if you get there.
So
it's almost like a lifetime invite.
Sure, it'll happen. Sure, I can make it happen. But anyway, best of luck to everybody playing in that event, because it's going to be that's always a good bit of fun, bit of a cult underground event, so to speak. So on next week's show, we are going to be joined by our co-host, our guest co-host, our substitute co-host. I don't know how you want to how we want to do this.
Yes.
Or how we want to say it. Yes, our substitute co-host, Arm Burgess, will be joining us next week on the show. And he'll be helping out. Is it 3 weeks, Morgan, that you're away?
Yeah.
It's weekend of Nationals.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks, and then I arrive back on the Thursday of episode 199. 200.
200, yeah. So hopefully you will, and that show actually 200 will be coming live from Christchurch. Will be one round of.
But he has confirmed he does have his computer and does have Wi-Fi.
Oh, good. Well, the episode 200 will be coming live from Christchurch because we'll be a day into the tournament by that point. So it will be it will be one of those where we'll know some results, and actually we're thinking about what else we're going to be doing that weekend as well.
Are we a day into it? I thought doubles was on. Do I land
No,
on Wednesday?
Doubles is on Wednesday, and the event starts.
I land on Wednesday then.
Yeah, Thursday is the first day, and then it's 4 days: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Because don't forget, Waitangi Day is on the Thursday this year, so that's the public holiday, and then Friday is the regular working day. But that'll be day 2 of the tournament. That's episode 200. And also we've got a couple of guests lined up for next week as well. So I'll be keen for you to join us next week for that. So very best of luck to everybody playing at the west side of Woodville. Very best of luck to everybody playing at Egg Monster this weekend, and wherever you're playing disc golf. Take it easy, play well, get some birdies, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.